Princess Charlotte parades her new crown all over Buckingham Palace. The moment the sunlight spilled through the tall palace windows and caught the glitter of diamonds and gold, everyone in the corridor froze. Courtiers paused mid-step, aides forgot their schedules, and even the most seasoned palace staff exchanged knowing smiles. Princess Charlotte of Cambridge had entered the room, and she was wearing a crown. Not tucked away safely for a state banquet, not reserved for a portrait session, but proudly perched on her head as she strolled through Buckingham Palace with the confidence of someone who knew history was watching. It was not just a charming childhood moment, it was a glimpse into the future of the British monarchy, sparkling with symbolism, tradition, and quiet power. From that very first step, Princess Charlotte's playful yet poised parade through the palace captured imaginations far beyond its gilded walls. In a family defined by ceremony and restraint, this simple act felt refreshingly human and deeply meaningful. What did this new crown represent? Why did it resonate so strongly with royal watchers around the world? And how did a young princess manage to turn an ordinary palace walk into a moment that will be remembered for years to come? A crown that sparked curiosity. Royal crowns are not everyday accessories. Each one carries layers of history, craftsmanship, and symbolism. So when Princess Charlotte appeared wearing a new crown, one not immediately recognizable from official state occasions, it set off a wave of curiosity. Was it a ceremonial piece? A practice crown? A gift marking a milestone? Sources close to the palace describe the crown as a specially commissioned piece designed with Charlotte's age and future role in mind. Smaller, lighter, and delicately crafted, it balances youthful elegance with unmistakable royal authority. Rather than overwhelming her, the crown seemed to belong to her, an extension of her personality rather than a burden of expectation. This distinction matters. For centuries, royal children were often dressed as miniature adults, weighed down by the same symbols worn by kings and queens. Charlotte's crown signals a modern shift, honoring tradition while allowing space for individuality. Buckingham Palace is a stage. Buckingham Palace has witnessed coronations, wartime addresses, and historic receptions. Yet on this day, its long corridors and ornate rooms became the backdrop for something far more intimate. Princess Charlotte wasn't making a formal appearance. She wasn't posing for official photographers. She was simply walking, exploring, greeting staff, laughing softly as the crown caught the light above her head. That informality is precisely what made the moment so powerful. It transformed the palace from an untouchable monument into a lived-in home. Charlotte's parade reminded everyone that behind the gates and guards, the monarchy is still a family, raising children who grow, play, and slowly step into their destined roles. The confidence of a young royal. Observers couldn't help but notice how naturally Princess Charlotte carried herself. There was no awkwardness, no visible self-consciousness. She walked with an easy confidence that hinted at years of subtle preparation. From balcony appearances to state events, Charlotte has grown up surrounded by public attention, but she has never appeared overwhelmed by it. Wearing a crown so casually might seem like a small thing, but in royal terms, it is significant. It suggests familiarity with symbols of power rather than intimidation by them. Charlotte wasn't trying on royalty, she was embodying it. This confidence has drawn frequent comparisons to her great-grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II, who famously began training for her role from a young age. Like Elizabeth, Charlotte seems to possess a quiet self-assurance, one that doesn't demand attention but naturally commands it. A modern princess in a traditional institution, Princess Charlotte belongs to a new generation of royals tasked with bridging the past and the future. Her parents, Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, have been deliberate in shaping a childhood that balances duty with normalcy. Charlotte attends school, participates in sports, and shares sibling moments that feel universally relatable. Yet moments like this crown parade remind the world that her life is anything but ordinary. She is not just a child wearing a pretty accessory, she is a princess learning the language of monarchy, symbols, rituals, and presence. The crown itself reflects this balance. Its design reportedly incorporates classic elements, delicate arches, a central motif, alongside a lighter, more contemporary aesthetic. It doesn't shout authority, it whispers continuity. Palace staff reactions, smiles and pride. Those who witnessed Charlotte's walk through Buckingham Palace reportedly reacted with warmth and quiet pride. Many staff members have served multiple generations of the royal family, giving them a unique perspective on moments like this. To them, Charlotte's crown was not just charming, it was reassuring. It represented stability, continuity, the knowledge that the institution they serve will carry on, shaped by a generation that understands both its weight and its humanity. Several staff members later described the moment as uplifting and unexpectedly moving. In a place defined by protocol, spontaneity can feel almost revolutionary. Public reaction. A princess captures hearts. News of Princess Charlotte parading her new crown spread rapidly, igniting social media and royal commentary circles. Fans praised her confidence, her composure, and the symbolism of the moment. Headlines described her as a natural, a future icon, and royalty in motion. What struck many observers was how easily people connected with the image. It wasn't about wealth or grandeur, it was about growth. Watching Charlotte wear a crown felt like watching history gently unfold, rather than dramatically announce itself. For younger audiences especially, Charlotte represents a relatable royal figure, someone growing up in real time, navigating expectations with grace. Echoes of royal history. Royal historians were quick to draw parallels between Charlotte's moment and similar anecdotes from the past. Queen Victoria reportedly loved wearing crowns and tiaras even in private, seeing them as both adornment and affirmation of her role. Queen Elizabeth II, too, was known to practice wearing her crown before her coronation, understanding that comfort and familiarity were essential. Charlotte's parade fits neatly into this lineage. It echoes the idea that monarchy is not just inherited, it is learned, practiced, and internalized over time. The symbolism of walking, not standing. One of the most striking aspects of this moment was that Charlotte was walking. She wasn't seated on a throne or standing for a portrait. She was in motion. Movement suggests progress, growth, journey. In royal symbolism, thrones represent authority, but walking represents leadership in action. Charlotte moving through the palace with her crown subtly reinforced the idea that the monarchy is not static, it evolves with each generation. A glimpse into the future. While Princess Charlotte is not directly in line for the throne, her role within the royal family will be significant. As the daughter of a future king and the sister of a future monarch, she occupies a unique position, one that blends visibility with responsibility. Moments like this crown parade offer a glimpse into how she may approach that role, with confidence, ease, and an intuitive understanding of symbolism. She appears comfortable being seen, yet not defined solely by attention. Parenting and preparation behind the scenes. Much of Charlotte's composure can be traced back to the careful parenting approach taken by Prince William and Catherine. They have consistently emphasized emotional intelligence, humility, and service, values that align closely with modern expectations of royalty. Allowing Charlotte to wear a crown in a relaxed, informal setting speaks volumes about their approach. It demystifies power without diminishing its importance. It teaches respect for tradition without instilling fear of it. Why this moment matters more than it seems. At first glance, a young princess wearing a crown around Buckingham Palace might seem like a charming anecdote. But beneath the sparkle lies a deeper narrative about continuity, modernization, and identity. The British monarchy has endured because it adapts. It understands the power of symbolism, and the importance of human moments. Charlotte's parade was both symbolic and deeply human, making it resonate far beyond palace walls. A crown, a corridor, a future unfolding. As Princess Charlotte disappeared down the corridor, crown still gleaming under palace lights, the moment quietly concluded. There were no announcements, no formal acknowledgements. Yet its impact lingered. In that simple walk, Charlotte managed to do something remarkable. She made royalty feel both timeless and present, grand and approachable. She reminded the world that the future of the monarchy is not just about ceremonies and titles, but about the people who grow into them. And somewhere in the echoing halls of Buckingham Palace, history took note.